people. Well, I'm back in Dallas, and I was listening. I was listening to Pastor Metro, but then I started thinking about
In a half mile, take exit 432A toward Inwood Road.
what he was saying about our calling, how everybody wants to be acknowledged of their calling.
Take exit 432A, then merge onto North Stemmons Freeway.
What we're truly called to do is bring this gospel. You called to do that before.
In a quarter mile, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Inwood
I
Road.
tell you, I clicked on this thing, and it's gonna keep talking because I'm trying to watch this road. But I remember, and sometimes I'll listen to my videos.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Inwood Road.
How I will mispronounce words or say something not quite correct, like when I said, I remember when I was a sinner and somebody was ministering the gospel to me and I did not say they were judging. But when I listened, I said that they weren't sinning. But it amazes me how God will take me and use me the way he does. That's when you got to know you are not the one operating. You got to know it's God. And when it's God, you got to care less what other people think. I sit and I listen to some of these videos that go through my feed. And I don't believe half the people walking what they post. The reason I don't believe it is because they're taking somebody else's stuff and then they're doing it themselves. Like the girl, the lady
Continue for 4 miles.
The walk with the Lord, and then next thing you know, her hair was all over her head. God, what was that? But then I seen somebody else doing it. Well, to me, they wasn't as funny as she was. But that's why I got off of social media, was because I was seeing everybody take something and remake it. I mean, aren't you talented? You can't come up with your own stuff. Now, I post stuff, it'd be funny to me. Or when the guy was talking about the gift of discernment. And that's because he operates in it himself. So he knows how a person with that gift thinks. We all, the ones that have that gift, if you're a child of God, you got that gift. You may not understand that gift, but that's a very good gift to have. It'll keep you out of trouble. It'll keep you from having people in your life that don't need to be there. And before they come up on you, God will show you their world. I mean, there are people that comes up on, I'll be like, I really don't have the time. You know, the Bible says that you could be entertaining angels. You could also entertain demons. I'll never forget, and I believe this was an angel. I was at an Aldi's, and a lady came up to me in hospital clothes, and there was a Baylor hospital next to Aldi's, and she had her tags and stuff on, and she had on a gown. And she said, ma'am, she said, I'm so hungry. She said, I just got out the hospital. My clothes was dirty. I still got my stuff on. She said, said, could you please give me something to eat? Buy me some or give me some money to get. And I think I had like, because I don't really keep cash on me. I think I had like $15 in cash. Now, she said she needed some money to also catch the bus. So I gave her the $15. Then I drove off. And I immediately turned around. Not long enough, no bus had came. I went over to the churches, which was next to Aldi's. That woman was gone. That woman, I looked for that woman. That woman was not there. I wasn't gone long enough that I would, because I lived over where she said she was catching the bus. I lived that way. And I said I could just take her home. I went, I looked for that woman. That woman was nowhere to be seen. I believe that was an angel. I believe that was an angel. I wasn't gone long enough for that, me not to see that woman. You never know who you may come across. And that same day, I was on my way to my bank. There was something I had to go in the bank to do. And there was a lady sitting there. Prior to that, I had asked the Lord to put somebody in my life to be a blessing for Christmas. I wanted to be a blessing to a single woman who might have had kids, or just a woman who was not having a good life. I had been in a shelter for a year and finally got out. I was on a program that helped me get an apartment. It's been a while back. I had a car. And I went to the bank and there was a young lady sitting there. I knew she was the woman to help. Now, if I would have seen that woman that was at Aldi's and took her home, I would have missed that woman at that bank. But that was an angel. The lady and I began to talk, and after she saw the banker, I said, well, what do you plan on doing for Christmas? She said, well, not much, ma'am. She said, I try to get my kids something. But as far as myself, I said, well, how about if I take you Christmas shopping? I said, you have a car? She said, yes, ma'am. She just didn't know what to think. And I was able to take her. I just took her to Ross. And I let her pick whatever she wanted. She was like, is this okay? I said, do you want it? She said, if it's okay. I was like, do whatever you want. Now, I knew what I had. And I was just praying to God. And then I felt like if he went over what I had, God would still make it happen. And so I'm saying all this to say, your calling is always to preach the gospel. And when you are giving out to someone and showing the love of God, it don't have to be money. Let me explain something. Jesus didn't hand out money to people when he was bringing good news. God knows not everybody is financially